Hey guys, Big Jason. I'm here with Craig Perrine. We're at Ten Oak, a famous bar here in Austin, Texas. As you may or may not know, unfortunately, my best friend, Scott Haines, passed away recently. He lived a few blocks from here. And when he moved to Austin to hang out with me, we used to live in Vegas. The first day he got here, I helped him move into his apartment. And I called Craig. I said, hey, do you want to meet Scott Haines for dinner? So after me and Scott got done moving him into his apartment, we came here, introduced Craig and Scott, and they hung out after I left, and started a friendship. And like I said, unfortunately Scott passed away, and his family asked me to continue his legacy, so that's what I'm trying to do. But what was really weird when I was going through Scott's stuff in his apartment is, unknown to me and Craig, is that all these years, Scott has had a letter addressed to Craig at his old Vermont address, and it's marked as undeliverable. This is from years ago, and there was no other envelopes with this. So he didn't have a bunch of them. There was just this one addressed to Craig. And I opened it up, and it happened to be a sales letter that Scott wrote for Gary Halbert. It's one of his multi-million-dollar promotions, so I thought it would be great if Craig had this. There you go, man.
Thank you. And guys, this is at least 20 years old. It's just fascinating. I was on Gary's list for stock trading back then. And so this is a Nixie from 20 years ago. I don't know, after Scott passed, when Jason told me about this, it just seemed like a time capsule, I mean, I don't know, it's very touching, first of all, that it exists, and that Jason brought it down, so I'm going to read the sales letter and think of Scott the whole time, so it's an honor to get it, even though it was undeliverable, right? So, definitely thank you, Jason.
Cool. So guys, like I said, I'm doing my best to continue Scott's legacy. So what I've done at shortcutcopywriting.secrets.com, Scott's site, is I've set up an opt-in form if you want to get on the waiting list for version 2 of his Shortcut Copywriting Secrets course. Now this is the course that Gary Halbert said, before you study anything about copywriting from Gary himself, you need to study this course. And also what I found in Scott's stuff in his apartment was everything laid out what he wanted to add to the course. So that's what I'm doing with the help of a lot of great copywriters. And just for opting in, here's what I'm going to do for you. Check this out. This is a cassette player with a USB cord. And I couldn't understand why he had this, but then I happened upon another promotion that Scott wrote for Gary, and I found this cassette tape. It says, "A Killer Message from No Sex Gary," and it's basically about a real, honest-to-God way to get rich with direct marketing. It's about an hour and a half. It's got some killer info on direct marketing. It applies today. So if you go to shortcutcopywritingsecrets.com, you can get that. And I'm also doing a referral contest. You're going to have a chance to win all of Scott's never-before-seen swipes. Swipes like what I'm giving Craig. So he's got all kinds of swipes that no one's ever seen before, even his best friends. These are multi-million-dollar promotions. You're going to have a chance to win that. And also, some of the top copywriters in the world today have done ad breakdowns of Scott's best ads. Guys like Carlton, David Deutsch, David Garfinkel, Craig Clemens, Von Halbert, Sammy Markowitz, Caleb O'Dowd, and many more. So if you go to shortcutcopywritingsecrets.com, get on the wait list, and you're going to get this free recording just for opting in. And again, you have a chance to win over $2,000 worth of Scott's hottest sales letters and all the ad breakdowns for some of today's top copywriters. So again, this is Big Jason, Craig Perrine. Appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Scott was, like I said, my best friend, and hopefully I'll see you at shortcutcopywritingsecrets.com. Thanks.